Yo, what's going on, my people? Blessed love. Y'all already know the vibes. Thanks for tuning in. We here today, giving a shout out to all my people on all the podcast platforms, all my people on YouTube. Big up on yourself, and I already know the vibes. Like we always say, positive thoughts equals positive results, positive vibes every time. You already know. Today's episode is number 13, and today's episode we're going to call it 10 things to know if you're being used. 10 things to look for, or 10 things you should see, from my perspective, of course, if you're being used. And we're going to kick off today's episode with a track from an artist, personal friend of mine that I know. Bad MC. Very lyrical. He's also a well-known battle rapper. We're talking about Getcha Bahhz. In other words, get your bars up before you could even talk to this man, to even spit bars with this man. You understand what I'm saying? So we're going to start off the episode with one of his tracks from his new album. It's called G'd Up. Listen, tune in, and then we'll be right back with today's episode. Blessed love. You already know the vibes. Prolific Vibes Podcast. You already know.
You want a big roll? Bro, production, bro. Cheeseburger. I want to be a happy. See, bro. You already know all these shit you about to do. What? You gotta look into over the city, my nigga. Keep doing your thing, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna rock with you no matter what, bro. Yes, sir. Fucking hanging
in the night, so little time.
Getcha.
But we have a happy
Sometimes you gotta just stay true to yourself. Facts.
To my gangsters and hustlers, them shooters wanna bust, but they out on parole. I stay G'd up. To them haters who be hating, wanna say shit to my face, but I know that they won't. I stay G'd up. So who's real, or who's fake in a room full of snakes, so I ride on my own. I stay G'd up. To my drillers and my hitters, if you feeling how I'm feeling, then you already know. I stay G'd up. Wanna fight, I ain't worried about box. Real drillers getting buried a lot. Everybody want a part of the story. To the end when they be earning the plot. Mine now, ain't returning my spot. Pay dues, had to earn what I got. All switches when I curry the shot. All switches when I curry the shot. With your bitch, cause I heard she a thought. 8 a.m. got the earliest top. Fuck it till she say it's hurting and stop. Let the music say the verses is hot. What you need, you get served in a spot. Robbing me, seeing surgeon in docks. Tiger Woods had a birdie to block. Swinging iron, had a 30 to Glock. 40 cal, hold a sturdy and pop. Anything that's in a hurry gon' drop. Popping drillers when they circle the ops. Ran them down, ain't concerned by the cops. Better invest when they hold a chop, go to work with a stop. When they hold a chop, go to work with a stop. To my gangsters and hustlers, them shooters wanna bust, but they out on parole. I stay G'd up. To them haters who be hating, wanna say shit to my face, but I know that they won't. I stay G'd up. So who's real, or who's fake in a room full of snakes, so I ride on my own. I stay G'd up. To my drillers and my hitters, if you feeling how I'm feeling, then you already know. I stay G'd up. You know I stay G'd up. I stay G'd up. You know I stay G'd up. I stay G'd up. You know I stay G'd up. I stay G'd up. You know I stay G'd up. I stay G'd up. All my niggas locked up. Man, I hope they really free you. Cause these bitches fraud and they deceitful. Yeah, they transparent, yeah, they see through. Back when you was starving, they ain't feed you. And they only holler when they need you. So you ballin', now they want a piece too. They ain't call you when you had a visa. If a nigga reach a letting heckler sing. Had bitches rolling, we was selling beans. Perky's and with amphetamines. Yeah, we had to get it, yeah, by any means. All these rappers capping and they selling dreams. How they been trapping since like 17. Holding all the gas the niggas never seen. Anyone who step to me, I tell them please. You know I stay G'd up. I stay gangsters and hustlers. Them shooters wanna bust, but they out on parole. I stay G'd up to them haters who be hating. Wanna say shit to my face, but I know that they won't. I stay G'd up. So who's real, who's fake in a room full of snakes? So I ride on my own. I stay G'd up. My drillers and my hitters. If you feeling how I'm feeling, then you already know. I stay G'd up.
The fire's coming. Are you ready for the fire? Look, we're firemen. We are firemen. The heat doesn't bother us. We live in the heat. We train in the heat. It tells us that we're ready. We're at home. We're where we're supposed to be.
Yeah, man. That was Getcha Bahhz. That track was called G'd Up. One of my favorite tracks that he got on his new project. I'm going to have the link in the description below, so you guys check that out. I'm going to put his website so you can go check him out, show some love. I'm going to put his YouTube link. Check him out, show some love. You got a lot of dope tracks. You got a lot more projects coming. You're doing a lot of work. He's getting a lot of steam. You know what I mean? He's in touch with a lot of big people in the industry, but no name drops right now. He doing his thing, man. You already know. Show some love. And that's my boy, Getcha Bahhz. You understand? All right. So today's episode is a little segue. I'm usually giving words of advice and, positive thoughts and affirmations. Today's episode, we're just basically going to give people, from my perspective, of course, just a little insight of things to look for and things to kind of use as a grade to know if you're, in the right circles, right company, you have the right people around you, if how their intentions are. Because, a lot of us sometimes we're blinded by how you feel towards someone. We're blinded by your personal attachment to the person and your feelings to the person. And you don't see what their intentions are or why they're around you. So, talking to a couple friends that I know, from both female and male perspective, and I came up with 10 things to kind of give you guys headway or kind of show you guys a little bit of warning of how to know, if people is in your life for the good or if they're in your life for the bad. So this episode, like I said, we're going to call 10 things to know if you're being used. 10 things to know if you're being used. And like I said, I love y'all guys from Spotify. We talking about Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Anchor, Meerkat, wherever you're listening and tuning in from. And YouTube, of course, bless up yourself. You already know. You understand? So we're going to start from number 10, then we're going to go down to number 1. So these are the top 10 things, guys. Stay tuned. Number 10. So to know if you're being used, people that's around you is family, friends, or loved ones. Number 10 is they're the first one to believe anything they hear, any rumors, or any hearsay they hear about you. They're the first ones to believe the bullshit. Someone that is genuinely there for you, love you, they know the person you are. So if something is said, they'll know if that's coming from you, especially the verbiage. Because all my real people that's around me, they can tell you, like, verbatim how I talk and things that I would say or how I would act. So if they're really genuinely in my life as a real one, they would know. So if there's any rumors, any type of hearsay or anything someone hear about me, if it's a real friend, before they even believe it or they going to check who they're hearing it from, they're going to come to me. So number 10, they're the first ones. And that's how you're going to know if the people around you here is to use you or they're just there, for what they can gain. If they hear anything about you, because they're toxic people, of course. Anybody that's around you in your life, that doesn't mean you well, they're toxic. So anything negative they hear, whether it's in person, social media, or phone call, they're the first ones to believe it. They're the first ones to believe a rumor. Number 10. Number 9. Manipulation. They love to manipulate. They would manipulate you for what they can gain. They manipulate you. They want to put a battery in your back so they could manifest whatever they want and get out of you. You understand? So number 9, manipulation. They'll get you hype, you know, if they want to get you in a fight, whatever it might be. If it's not going to benefit them, guess what? It's not going to happen. So they'll manipulate you, put shit in your head for you to believe, for you to think, for you to act on their behalf and their behalf only. Nothing to benefit you, only to benefit them. Number 9 is going to be manipulation, guys. Number 8, they only put you on to game or put you on things only if they have something to gain from it. If they don't have anything to gain from it, they're going to keep it to themselves or they're going to go somewhere else. If they can't gain anything from you, then they're going to keep it away from you. In other words, I'm saying if it's a play that got to be made, if they could make some money off of you, that's the only way you're going to know about it. Yeah, you might make some money in the long run or you might get something from it. But guess what? They would never put you onto game or put you onto a particular play if you're the only one benefiting from it. You understand? They wouldn't even say, yo, that's my man's, that's my people's. You know, I know they doing this down here. He's a part of that situation. Let me put him on. Let him eat some food. Let him do what he do, you know what I mean? And come up. Just off of the love, off of the strength. No, they're not going to do that. You understand? They have to be making something off of it. And I'm going to use this for example. I'm going to use the play. A lot of dudes out there knew what was going on. You understand? And what they do is they only put their mans on because they could eat a money off of it, because they already have, you know, contracts or they already have agreements in the background to whoever is doing this, that, yo, if this is getting this amount, you know, let him know you charging X amount percentage and you kick back this shit to me without him knowing. And then you still going to your mans and telling your mans like, yo, you're getting this amount off of my strength, you know, let me get something. So once again, if it's not benefiting them, regardless of the play, if it ain't going to benefit them, they're not doing it for you, for your benefit, for your wealth, for you to come up. You know, and I'm saying I'm not going to say it to say, well, people is just supposed to do without any return. But if it's a real friend and there's a real G and they're just not in your life or not around you, you get what I'm saying, for what they can gain, that's not going to be the first thought in their head. If they know something's going on or it's going to benefit the situation, they're going to tell you about it, even if they don't have nothing to gain from it. You know, there's a lot of times that I put people onto situations and I point them in the right direction and I'm not expecting $1 from it. I'm not even expecting a thank you, because I would hope if the shoe was on the other foot, they would do the same thing for me, you know? So saying that, if it's nothing, if they can't benefit from the situation, they're not going to put you on. If they're not making money off of the top of your head, behind you, in front of you, for you to even make any money, they're not going to put you on. You know what I mean? They'd rather go to a stranger and do it. So that's number 8, guys. Now, number 7 was a big, not even say a big topic, but it was a big discussion between the Jamaican community, like all my boys that's Jamaican, like our Jamaican friends. It was a big one, number 7. And basically it's saying number 7 is whenever you around them and they introduce you to new people, they always saying, oh, you know what I mean, money man, or rich kid, or, you know what I mean, my money friend, you know, stuff like that. So if they're introducing you that, they don't mean you no good, guys. You understand? A real genuine friend, you know, that's not there to use you or what they can gain from you, in the realness of a conversation or in the realness of an introduction, they're not going to say to someone that you're just meeting, you know, yo, see the money man there, a rich kid, you know, a rich kid that, you know, you don't know, Ray, you understand? They're not introducing you that. They're going to introduce you the correct way by your name and then say, well, you know, this is my business partner, this is my friend, this is my, you know, husband, this is my wife, whatever it is, whatever the relationship is. If it's not coming from that place, it's not sincere. You understand? They're not going to introduce you and be like, yeah, man, I have all of the money, you know, see the money man there, you know, you understand? I'm a rich kid that, you know, you understand? You know, you don't know anything, do a boy, you understand all of them things there, you know, I have all of the money. They're not going to introduce you to people like that, guys. So, like I said, this is 10 things that we compile together just to show you. If people around you just there for what they can gain and use you, you're not a real commodity to them. You're not a real friend. They're there for what they can gain, guys. These are things you can use to kind of bridge that gap, or you can use to kind of grade the situation of how valid someone is, of how real someone is to you. You know, guys, so number 7, they're not going to introduce you as, you know, no top man or no rich kid or, you know, the money guy, the money man. They're not going to introduce you that way if it's a real friend. You understand? It's okay if it's in y'all little circle and y'all joking based on topics, and you know what I mean, and they crack a joke and be like, yeah man, you can't go on rich kid. Or if it's you and him on the phone alone and they be like, yo, well, go on rich kid, jokingly, because you guys are familiar in that sense. But introducing you that way, intentions are not good, guys. So we came up with that one, number 7. If someone is basically in your life to use you, that's the type of introduction you're gonna get. So look out for that, especially my yard man them. You understand? If you're there road or wherever and people around you introduce you like that, but money man or rich kid, you understand? Tell them figure, you already know the vibes. You understand? And watch them people, because them watch your pocket. You understand? All right. Yes, guys. Number 6, you find out things about them later than everybody else. Strangers or other people that, you know, you don't know would know their accomplishments and their goals and things that they're doing positively before you find out, because they never gave you the regards to give you the courtesy and the respect to let you know what they're doing. So they don't really give a shit about your feelings. You understand? Like I said, if it's not something that's going to benefit them that you're doing, you're not important enough to share with. You're not important enough to know. You know, so if these are people that, you know, you're hearing from other people, you didn't hear it directly from them that, oh, he accomplished this or he did this or this is what's going on with the person, and you didn't hear firsthand from them, that's not a real friend. You understand? That's not somebody that's in your life, family or not. That's not somebody in your life that's there to benefit you, to uplift you, that's going to, you know, reciprocate the good deeds and everything that you're doing to them. They're not doing that to you. So if you got to hear anything that's not important, you know, if you got to hear anything that's important that's going on with them from somebody else and you didn't hear it from them, and then if you address it with them, they're going to act like it's no big deal, you're not a real friend. You understand? You're not a real friend to that person. Now, keep in mind, things go both ways. Don't feel because you're real and you're doing all these friendly things and you're doing everything right because you genuinely feel like this person's a friend, they're going to be the same with you. This is the list to show you if you're being used as a friend or a family member or a significant other. If you're the one being used, things to grade the situation, take your feelings and your emotions out of it. You know, put things on paper, put things in perspective to see if you're being used. Because a lot of people, we don't know we're being used day in and day out because you're blind to it, because your emotions is involved. Use logics and use reality to see. So like I said, these are the 10 things I feel, you know, people we can use or you can grade or you can use to grade a particular relationship, if you're being used or not, or people are real around you. So once again, number 6, if I got to hear good news about you from somebody else and you don't come and tell me, you're not a real friend. But the minute I could do something for you that's going to benefit you monetarily or a link or a hookup, you run to me, then what's the point? What's the purpose? But when good things going on with you that I'm not a part of, you don't even link me and tell me. You don't even show love. You don't even be like, yo, you know, this is what's going on. And if it's something that you could put me onto, back to what I was saying, if they're not benefiting from you, they're not going to let you know. They're just going to keep eating and doing their business. You're not a real friend. You understand, guys? So that was number 6 on the list. Number 5, those type of people, they don't come and visit you. They don't stop by. They don't call to see how you're doing just off the strength. You understand? The only time they'll come and visit is if something going on at your house. Game night, fight, the cookout, basically. You understand? If you don't have no food, no liquor at the house for them to full their belly, you're not seeing them. They won't stop by with a bottle of wine or a bottle of liquor and say, here, put it in your liquor cabinet or put it in your wherever cabinet, your fridge. They're not doing that just off of the strength, just off of the love of being friends. You understand? The only time you see them is when it's benefiting them once again. So be careful who you let know where you live and where you lay your head at. You understand? Be very careful because not every one of them means you well. So back to what I was saying, number 5, the only time you see them at your place, the only time they'll stop by is if you got food and liquor. If it's a cookout or a barbecue or a game night or a fight night, or if you tell them you got 3 baddies at the house, you understand? If it's a man, if it's friends from that perspective, vice versa, you understand? Even if it's a woman, from a woman perspective, your girlfriend, she ain't coming by if she don't hear it's some shit going on at the house that she could benefit from. Some food, some liquor, some excitement, things of that nature. If she ain't gonna come up or benefit from it, she don't come visit you, see how you doing, see if you well. You understand? Bring a bottle of liquor or bring some soap, body wash. You understand these things? They're nothing that, if they're real friends, they know what you like. You understand? Shit, maybe some trail mix. They don't, things like that. Buy some fruits, come link you. You know what I mean? Little things like that. If they're not doing those things, guys, watch them, be careful. They only come by when they could benefit them, when they could get food to fill their belly, liquor, you know what I mean? Because you already know, liquor expensive. People love drinking. If it's free, they in it. So free liquor, they gonna come. But if you tell them you're not feeling well, drop off some soup, buy you some food, your stomach hurt, you can't go outside. If you tell them, oh, so I'm busy, or, I'm not in town, or, I'll see, because I'm doing something right now, I'll call you back. Like, be careful of those people. Be careful of those people. Now, I'm not saying use one situation or one time and mark it as that's what it is. It can be true. People are busy. But if it's a continuous thing and you notice all the time things are going one way, only in their favor, never towards your favor, watch those people. Guys, so number 5, those people only come and visit when they could eat your food and drink your liquor, or benefit from the situation, or pay-per-view. They're not spending their money to watch the fight or watch UCF or MMA, whatever it is, UFC. They want you to spend your money, so they'll come watch it. Watch these type of people, guys. Number 5. Number 4, guys. Number 4 are the ones that, if you're in a business, they know you're successful or you have a particular knowledge about something and they know, that's the only time they call you. That's the only time they call you. If it's something about business or something that's going to benefit them, that's the only time they call you, guys. Be careful of these people. They know, you know about real estate. They know, about just business on a whole. You're a paper person. You're a business-minded person. You're a creator. You're creative. You're doing something and you reach somewhere in that business or that field. And at that point, they want information. If they're real friends, you don't mind sharing the information. You don't mind giving them jewels, giving them gems. But they never call you to ask you how you doing, ever. The only time they call you is when they doing something and they know you have the answers. They know you have the know-how and the go-to. So they try to use that friend card and they call you. How does this go again? How do I do this again? Can you help me file this form? Can you help me do that? Can you help me do this? That's the only time they call you. That's on some using stuff. That's you getting used. That's not a real friend. That's how you know people that's using you. You have a particular skill. You have a particular knowledge. You have a particular know-how on certain things. And whenever they need that is when they call. They never call for nothing else. It sometimes feel like the only time you're on the phone with them is like just for business. It's like a business call, like you're in the office. You're there explaining things. I've seen it myself. I've been around friends and other friends is calling them about editing, about, using Adobe for certain things or recording using Logic or using Pro Tool. It's not, you don't mind giving the knowledge, guys, and giving information. I'm not saying that. So What I'm saying is I want you guys to just be clear and pick out sense from nonsense of what I'm saying. You can have real friends and they call you for these things, but that's not the only thing. They call you to see how you're doing. They hang out with you, all of this other stuff. And then if it's the same feel or if they need information on something that they don't know and they know, they'll call you and ask you. But on the other end, if these people are just people calling you to pick your brain because they know you have the know-how and you have the knowledge for certain things and they don't call you no other time, you're being used. You are being used for what you know, guys. You're being used for the knowledge that you have, whether you paid for it or you learned it. You understand? If it's a real friend, you won't mind, but watch out for the people that only come around, only call you when they need business advice or to do something because they already know you've done it, you've perfected it, you're doing it, it's making you money, and you're doing well from it. So they'll only call you and use that friend card to use that to their benefit to do what they're doing. And like I said, we're not talking about the real ones that you don't mind passing the knowledge on to and passing on the love to. You understand? So that one is number 5, guys. The people that will only call you to pick your brain, get what you know out of your head so they can use it for what they're doing. Those are not real friends. Those are users. Understand? All right. Sorry, I think I said that was number 5. No, that was number 4. Number 4 is the ones that call you to pick your brain for their benefit, not to your benefit. That was number 4. I'm sorry, guys. Number 5 already was the ones that only come check you for liquor on food and full and belly or for game night because they don't, that's something that they can't do on their own. So they're going to use you for that. That was 5. So 4 was the people that's going to pick your brain and use your knowledge and your information that you have to benefit them. That's number 4. So now let's go to number 3, guys. So yeah, number 3 is for all the people that, is into nightlife and love hanging out and partying. This one is kind of for you guys. And that's kind of where number 3 came from the questionnaire or from, the top 10 answers or the top 10 reasons how you know if you're being used in a relationship. And number 3 is they don't invite you out. They don't invite you out. You know what you do? You see pictures on social media. You hear people talking about it. They was at this function. They was at that party. You was never invited. And in yourself, you're wondering, like, how come? If you my friend, how come I wasn't there? I didn't even know about it. You didn't invite me. And if you address it to them, you know what they're going to say? Oh, it's not your scene. I didn't expect you. You wanted to go. Oh, somebody invite me. It was a last minute thing, right? All of these things. It was a last minute thing. I didn't know, and it's not your scene. I know you don't like places like that, so that's why I didn't even say nothing next time. You understand? And that's going to lead up to number 2, right? Number 2. So number 3 is basically they're hanging out, having a good time, and because they can't use you or you're not that important because somebody else is on their mind or somebody else is on their dial, they don't care. They're not going to say, oh, Ricardo's my friend. Let me invite him. Or Ricardo, we hanging out. No. They just leave you for dead. They don't give a shit. They're going to hang out. You're going to find out about the hangout on social media or other friends. They're going to be like, yo, we went to X, Y, and Z. How come you wasn't there? And you're like, I didn't even know about that. And when you go check and page the person, they're going to tell you, oh, that's not your scene. I didn't think you wanted to come. Or I'm not the one that made plans. Someone invite me last minute and I didn't want to bother you. Like that. So be careful of those people. Watch for those people. You understand? I know with number 2, when they're going to start calling you now to hang out? When you spending the money. Number 2 is you only getting called to go hang out and to do this and do that because you know what? Either you chipping in on the bottle or you buying the whole bottle. So when they want to go hang out and they low on funds, they know who to call. Let's call this guy. Let's call him because he can chip in on the bottle. He can pay half of the bottle or you can buy the whole bottle. You can get us in the club. You can get us in the venue. He know these type of people. Let me call him so he can let me in or get in for free. That's when they calling you. If it wasn't for that, you wouldn't even been knowing party was going on or they want to go hang out or go to party. You understand? So number 2, they only call you when you got to go in your pocket. They want you digging in your pocket so they can have all the fun. They could drink all the liquor. They could go into these VIP spots. They could go hang out in these lavish places because they know you have the know-how and the connection. That's the only time they're going to call you to hang out. Besides that, behind you, they probably talking about you whacking you lame and they don't like hanging out with you. But when they know that they can benefit from your movement or whatever you got going on, or they can dig in your pockets to buy the Hennessy that they want to drink, the Grey Goose they want to drink, the Ciroc and the Deuce they want to drink, the Douce. Yeah, man, I'm call Ricardo, man. I'm call this person, I'm call that person. I know Sam can't afford it, him can't, But if that's not the case, you're not getting calls. Watch out for those people. Watch out for those people, guys. They only in your life to use you. Like I said, this is the top 10 reasons I feel, and this is from a group of people, my people, that we feel like these are the top 10 things you can use to grade and know if somebody's in your life using you, family or friend. Like I said, that be careful using that word family. I heard somebody said it on social media the other day. You understand? Blood makes you related. Blood don't make you family. The loyalty and the relationship you have with someone makes you family. So be careful of these words that we throwing out here. You understand? Some people just related to you, but they still using you. And they using that family word to get what they want from you. And then you have people out here calling themselves your friend. They're not your friend. They're just using that word because what they can get from you and what they can, use you for. They're basically users. And then we're going to go to number one. The number one reason, and I'm sure before I said everybody know. They only call you when they want to borrow money. Money. They only know you and remember you when they want to borrow money. You understand? Let me say it again. Only when they want to borrow money, they remember you. They using you. Be careful of these people. They don't call a checkup on you. They don't call a whole of reasoning. You understand? They only call you to ask for money. Now, I know a lot of people out there going to get offense to what I'm saying because they feel they're a real friend and they're in these situations. You're not a real friend if you could put yourself in these situations. You understand? If you take in what I'm saying and you're attaching your life and your situation or your relationship that you have with someone and you feel negative or upset about it, you're the fucking user. You're the friend or so-called friend that's using somebody. You're the so-called family that's using somebody if you're feeling offended to what I'm saying. You understand? Don't feel that real people out here don't see it and know it. Some of us are here and some people are a little bit slower on getting it and seeing it because of the love they have for you and the respect they have for you. So they take a blind eye to it. But if you're a user, you're a user. And the users know who they are because it's something being done intentionally. You know what I mean? They're doing it intentionally, guys. It's not being done unintentionally. They're doing it intentionally. They sit there and they plot and they think, who can I call to get some money from? Because I know they got it. Think about it, guys. And sometimes you end up being the sucker because they know your heart. They know you're a good person and they know you're taking them to be a good friend and to be a real friend. So you're not going to say no. You understand what I'm saying? So, number one, the only time you get a call, you don't get no calls for nothing else. No happy birthday, no how you doing, how you feeling, how's the family, how's the kids. You get me? You don't get those calls. You only get a call to hear their problems, and then what follows after that is, let me hold something. Can I borrow? You understand? Be careful of these people, guys. These are the number 10 things that I can say most of us, most of my friends, most people can relate to and understand like, damn, if I have these type of people around me that's doing one of these 10 things or multiple of these things from this list, damn, they're not my real friends then. They're just using me. They're literally using me. I'm just on that friend list to be used. It's not genuine and it's not real. You know, so I hope you guys take away something from, you know, this list, guys. You know, from this episode, 10 things to look for to know if you're being used. From people that want to call themselves your friends, call themselves your family, call themselves significant others. These are 10 things you can use to grade that relationship if you're being used or not. And keep in mind, you know, like they say, if they can't use you, you're useless. So when you put your foot down and you make your claim and you're not doing none of these things to benefit them, then you realize the phone calls stop altogether. And that's a beautiful thing. You know, you leave people to get rid of themselves. You leave them to weed themselves out. You didn't have to get into an argument. You didn't have to block their numbers. You didn't have to delete their contacts. You allow them to delete themselves out of your life because now you know how to say no because you understand what they've been doing was using you. Then you'll really realize who was a friend, who was a family or not, because now the phone calls is going to stop because they realize they can't just call, get what they want, whether it's information or money. They can't come tell you, come hang out so you can buy the bar, buy bottles, you know, things like that. They now realize and they see it, so the phone call is going to stop. So if they can't use you, you're useless. So those are 10 things, guys, like I said, you can use to grade if you're being used from these people. And we are all here to be used, guys, just not misused. You know, remember that. We're here to be used, not misused. It's life. We're all people. We all have needs. We all looking for self-preservation. So at times you do use people for things, but attach other things to that. Don't let it just be using, and throw away. Like people is garbage. You know, be compassionate. You know, be true. Be kind. All of this comes with asking for favors and needing people for things. And you will know who the true friends are and you won't mind doing these things for them at any given time. But if there's no other things that's attached to the asking and the begging, then you're being used. And they know they're using you. And the minute they can't use you, they'll fall off and they'll stop calling you. They'll stop reaching out. I promise you. You know, guys, so thanks for tuning in for another episode, guys. This was episode 13, and the topic was 10 things to look for to know if you're being used by friends, family, or significant other. Thanks for tuning in, guys. If you guys are listening, big up yourself. You already know. If you're watching on YouTube, big up yourself. You know the vibes. Thanks for tuning in once again, guys. Positive thoughts equal positive results. Positive vibes every time. I am Rick. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Blessed love every time. And you already know.
I want today.
Yeah.